Hey, fellow YouTubers. So, I decided to go ahead and give you guys a slideshow of my natural hair journey thus far. So, in the beginning is pictures from the very start, and then it'll take you all the way to the end to what current stage I am at now. I'm sorry for the first three pictures, they are very blurry. They came from my old phone, so it's poor quality and it's kind of just a headache, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to show you. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first picture, which is what you're looking at now, is a picture of my permed hair. This was, I want to say, the beginning of my sophomore year. I wanted to go back to school with permed hair, so I went and I got it trimmed and cut and perms for the first time in about, I want to say, maybe 3 years, because I wore braids and protective styles for 3 years and I did nothing to my hair except get braids. As soon as I took the braids out, I get them in again, keep them in for 6 to 7 months, take them out, get them in again. So my hair really wasn't ready for any type of chemicals. If I was smart and more educated, then I would have started off with just a press and curl. But since I was not knowledgeable about hair at all, I did not know that it wasn't okay to just go ahead and get a perm after my hair has been put on in braids for, let's say, 3 years back to back to back with no break in between. So, of course, it broke off and it started thinning, and before you know it, within the next 3 weeks, all my hair was pretty much on the floor, which really isn't funny, but it was a, I don't know what it was. It's just a bad experience. So, anyways, let's get to the next picture. This is the front view, and this is the back view. So my hair, I always had nice, healthy hair, like a good grain of hair. It's just I wasn't properly educated. Like if I had known what I know now, it would have been a different story. This picture here is the day I got my big chop. Once again, I'm sorry for the quality, but as you can see, I barely have any hair on my head. Like I said before, I could not even pinch or pull any hair. Like it was really, 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 really short. And this was about 4 weeks after I got the perm, so it didn't take long for my hair to break off and show that it wasn't strong enough to hold the chemicals that the perm consists of. So, this day also, I went to the beauty supply store and I bought my first wig. And I wore wigs for maybe, I want to say, 6 months. And after 6 months, I finally had enough hair so that I can go get it braided because I didn't want to wear wigs anymore. I didn't really like it. It's just that was my only choice. I was not comfortable with my hair being in the state that it was in, and I just didn't want to get judged. It was my sophomore year of high school. I was scared to see what people would say, and it was just something I didn't want to deal with. So I wore wigs until my hair grew out to a good length where it was a long enough to be able to be braided, and yeah. This next picture is also poor quality, but as you can see, my hair started to grow in a little more. I think this was the actual day that I went to go get my first protective style since the day I big chopped. So this was a good amount of hair I felt like to start getting protective styles. So this is what I started with. This length was actually perfect. She was able to braid it with no problem. And from this day on, I think that was the summer. So from this day on, I just wore braids and twist and kinky twist and Senegalese and stuff like that. So next picture. This is a picture. Clearly, my hair did not grow from 6 months to this. This is just the most recent picture I had in my phone. So I'm gonna start with this picture. As you can see, I wear my hair up a lot. So once I realized that my edges were still thinning and were not growing, I decided to experiment with headscarves, which is what you see in this picture. This picture was actually a style that I did where the back of my hair was not touched at all. It's just the sides in the middle were all twisted up at night, and then I would take the twist out in the morning, and it would just kind of be like a half scarf type hairstyle. Here you can see the back of my hair is not out, it's just the middle and the top. And this was a way for me to prevent tension on my edges so I didn't have to wear a high puff every day. So, Like I said, I like to experiment with different hairstyles. This was just one of them. Here's a picture of my hair after I got my first trim. I don't know how many months or years I was at. I know I was probably at 2 years, but I don't know exactly what the date was. But I went ahead and I went to a hairstylist and I let her trim my hair for the very first time. It was the first trim I've ever had since I big chopped. So it was kind of scary and nerve wracking because I honestly do not trust natural hairstylists. I'd rather just do things on my own, but I was too scared to trim it myself, so I went to get it professionally done. And she did do a good job. The only thing I would say is I did get heat damage because she told me that she was not able to trim my hair unless it was completely wet. So she went ahead and wet my hair, and then she took a blow dryer and blow dried my hair for a straight, let's say, 20 minutes on high heat with no heat protectant. So I did get heat damage from her blow drying it, and plus from me going home that same night and flat ironing it. This picture you can just see that I flat ironed it. It wasn't like a really good flat iron. It was just a quick bypass because I just wanted to see what my length was at. But this was the last time I've had a flat iron or a heat or any type thing like that on my hair. So this was just the length I was at, and I was very happy with it and pleased, because if you compare this picture to the picture of my permed hair, my hair right here is much longer. Here's just another picture of my hair. This is like my go-to hairstyle every day is a high puff. And this is just another picture of that same day. You can see that I do have very thick hair, so it's a lot to manage. Which is why I get lazy and just put it in a high puff because it's the quickest, most easiest thing for me to do. Here's another picture. These were actually I did Bantu knots, and I took them out in the morning and then put it in a high puff. So that's just another go-to style for me. Here's that's the same day, but I just gave you guys a different view of it. So this is me tilting my head back so you can see the definition and fullness of my hair. And here's the hairstyle from the back. So I do have a good green and thick hair. It's just a lot to manage and a lot to handle. And here's a front view, and as you can see, my edges, if you look closely in the front of my hair, is my problem area. It has gotten better, but these pictures just show you that my hair is very thin in the front and very thick in the back. So that is currently what I'm working on, is thickening up the front of my hair so it can be equivalent to the thickness of the back of my hair. Here's a picture of my hair after I took out my last protective style. My last protective style I had in January of 2014. I had I want to say box braids, I guess is what they're called, and this is what my hair looked like after I took out the box braids. I was doing a thumbs up because I didn't see that much damage, but it took me like a week to realize that my edges were worse than what they were when I started. And here's a close up of my edges. As you can see, that they're very thin, and it just does not look healthy at all. Here's another picture of my edges. And then here's a picture of the back of my hair the very next day. Like I said, the back of my hair compared to the front of my hair are like completely opposite. The back is very thick and the front is very thin, which is currently my goal I'm trying to work on. This is just a picture of me experimenting with another scarf or head wrap style. Um, I think I did Bantu knots on the front and the middle of my scalp, and I just tied a scarf around it. Head wrap and scarf hairstyles are just easy for me to do when I don't feel like doing anything. It's just simple and easy and a quick go-to style. Here's another style of me playing around with a head wrap. And here's just a picture of my hair that I wanted to show you guys, because if you look at the back in the middle, you will see thickness, and if you look at the very front, you can see that there are two different lengths and two different sizes. So I'm just trying to show you guys how bad my edges in the front of my hair really were back then. Here's just a picture of me being silly, with my hair actually out and down. I don't have it in a high puff or anything. I probably just got off from work and I just took my headband off and I was just taking pictures. The same thing in this one, and that's just me my hair up. And then this picture shows you, this picture is actually recent. I want to say this picture was like a month ago. And I chose this picture because it shows you that the front of my hair has grown to be a little thicker, kind of equivalent to the back of my hair. So that's why I put this picture in there. Plus, it shows you another style with me experimenting with head wraps. This picture also, you can see that my edges have grown in somewhat. They're not as thin as they were, and they're kind of coming along. Here's a more recent picture also of me wearing my hair down. I just started this picture was my first time actually experimenting with wearing my hair down and not in a high puff, so I just decided to take a picture. Here's the same style, just from different views. And if you look closely at the bottom right picture, you can see that my edges have came in quite a lot compared to the other picture I showed you where they were very thin and you can see my scalp. This was the 4th of July. I just really liked the way my twist out turned out that day. That day I did actually wear my hair in a high puff just because that's just how I wanted to wear my hair that day. But most days my hair I try to wear it down to keep the tension off my edges since I am trying to grow them back. This is just a picture I liked. I like the way how thick my hair looked in this picture. And the next pictures are pictures that I took tonight. So this is my current stage. This is where I'm at with being 2 years and 7 months natural. My edges are finally grown in. My middle and the front of my hair are coming along, and the back of my hair is still thick. So I am making progress, and I'm getting a little more comfortable with wearing my hair down. 3 months ago, you will not catch me with my hair down ever, not even in the house. But I'm getting more comfortable each and every day with wearing my hair down. So it's just a great thing because that means I'm putting less tension on my edges, which means they can finally just grow and keep being healthy. These are just pictures I all took tonight, and this was earlier today before I went to work. So yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to put it in the comment box. And I hope you guys enjoyed this slideshow of my natural hair journey thus far. Continue to stay with me throughout my journey, and I will continue to keep you updated. Okay, good night, YouTube.